Okay, in our last video, we took a look at Adobe Premiere Pro, how to go and navigate in it, how to do some simple edits. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to add color and how to add titles to your video. So let's dive in now. Okay, we're in Premiere Pro. We're going to dive into the basketball project we were working on the last video. So if you haven't seen the last video, take a look at it. There's a link right here. So that is going to get us into this point now where we're going to start to add titles and we're going to add some color and make our videos come alive. So I'm going to click on this project here. It's going to open up. Once again, we'll scan through it. You can see the guy's playing a little basketball. He comes up here, hits the shot, it goes in, he dribbles away. Okay, so that's our project. Right now it's very dark, so I'm gonna wanna try and fix that a little bit, and then I wanna add some titles to our little thing, and they're really simple to do. So if you look over on the far right here, you'll see I have two panels here open called the Lumetri color panel and the Essential Graphics panel. So let me just go back here to Window, and by the way, if students or yourself ever get mixed up and things aren't the way they should be when you launch Premiere Pro, just go into Window, Workspaces, and Reset to Saved Workspace. Make sure you're in Editing, and then Reset to Saved Workspace. It comes back out exactly how we had it in the first video. Okay, and then these things are resizable, by the way, so you can grab them there and start to move them around and resize them. So right now I've got it all set up, but I want to add titles and I want to add color. And how do you do all that? Well, we're going to go back into the window and we're going to scroll down a little bit and we see Essential Graphics. So I'm going to make sure there's a check mark next to that one. And there's my graphics. And then I'm going to go back to Window and I'm going to go and look for Lumetri Color. And there's Lumetri Color. So I've got both of these right now. So I'm going to start out with Lumetri Color. And first thing you want to do is you want to click up here where it says Basic Correction. And in the Basic Correction, here's something that says Input LUT. A LUT is a lookup table. So if you have pre-made LUTs that you're bringing in, so they're kind of like presets. So if you have all that information, this is where you would go and get it. It comes with some pre-made stuff here. These are all camera stock. Film stock. So you've got Alexa, you've got RE, you got Phantom, and they'll give you those kind of looks. I'll just click on it one time. You can see how it gave us that look right away. So let's get out of here. And then we're going to go into the white balance. So the first thing I want to do is white balance everything. I see this white right here. So I'm going to get the little color picker. I'm going to go right here over that line and click it once, and it gave me a subtle little color correction, which is great. And then I can start playing around with the temperature, the tint, the saturation, but I want to go down here where it says light. And right now it's a little dark for me. So I'm going to pump up the exposure just a little tiny bit. And there it's a little lighter. I can see things in the distance. And the way you can check is if you go up to the top here where it says Lumetri Color and you click the little FX button on and off, you can see what it looked like before and after. So it's a little brighter now, and like that. Next, I'm going to scroll down to the highlights, and I'm going to play around with that. If I go too far to the right, it's blown out. So I'm just going to give it a little subtle boost here, maybe something like 8, whatever. And then the shadows, and let's play with the shadows. If I go to the left, it gets kind of dark. If I go to the light, there's no more shadows like it was before, but that's a little much, I think. So let's leave it at that for a second, and let's click it on and off. So before, you could barely see his face. After, I could see his face. And then we'll play around with the whites. Do we want the whites to be really super bright? No, it's too blown out. So we'll bring that back down, and we'll play with the blacks. Do I want the blacks too far to the left? No, that's too dark. So I'm liking a little subtle, like about there. I'll bring the whites back a little bit too. Okay, so I like that. Let's turn this on and off. And there you go. You got some color correcting going. Now you can play with the color temperatures up here. You want to make it like a warmer, sunny day. You can Go to the temperature up a little bit. You can make it a little cooler day if you want. So you can play with those at your own convenience and whatever your liking is. The tint, I want to make it a little tintier like that. Maybe, there we go. So maybe it looks like a warmer, sunnier day. So you can play with all of those, and it's really up to your liking of what you're trying to get the point across. So I'm going to try and go back to 0 here. I can click on that, type 0, and we'll go to 0 here too. Some other ways that you can add color to all of this is, let me turn this off for a second. And I can now go into, well, I would want to color correct the whole thing maybe, because I'm only color correcting certain things. If I click on this here, it didn't affect this at all because we didn't use color correction. So we'll just go back here. So I might want to affect the whole video. And how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to go to new item down here. I'm going to choose adjustment layer. I'm going to put that there. We're going to do color. And I'm going to drag this on top. And what the adjustment layer is going to do, it's going to affect everything underneath it. So I'm going to go back up here where it says effects controls for that clip. And now I can see Lumetri color has been added. Now I'm going to do a whole separate video on the effects controls and how to use them and all of that. So stay tuned for that. But the Lumetri colors there, all the work I already did. So I can right click on that and I can choose copy. And now I can go to this, our adjustment layer, sorry. And I can do Command V and paste it. And now you can see I have the color in the adjustment layer. But one thing I want to do is go back and click on that first clip and turn off the Lumetri color right here. So we don't have double, because now we had double. So now I can scroll through and everything matches. I've done all the work on the first one, but it's affected all of them because we had a color, an adjustment layer on top. So that's one way that people can learn to color grade. Okay. So if we go back into the Lumetri color really quickly, you'll see there's other things here. If I close out basic correction, underneath it, it's got creative, it's got curves, and these are all really great to learn. So there's going to be a whole separate video on each one of these because I think that they deserve their own. Okay, so, but I've got this guy, he looks better. So I want to add a little title here. So now I'm going to click on Essential Graphics. And I've got this a little too big, so we'll make it smaller. And now I can look at all the pre-made graphics here. You can download your own and upload them by going to Graphics, Install Motion Graphics Templates. So you're looking for those. If you look out there for Adobe Premiere Pro Motion Graphics Templates, there's tons of them. I like a place called motionarray.com. Has a lot of great stuff in there, and it's very inexpensive. But we just want to do a basic title. So I'm going to grab the text tool right here, type tool, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to start typing. I'm going to do drive to the hoop. And I've done that. And now I'm going to do my selection tool, so I'm out of the type tool. And now I can grab this and move it around anywhere that I want. So to make it max effectiveness, I'm going to make it smaller here. And we'll put it up here in the corner for a minute, and let's just see how that looks. Drive to the hoop. There it is, and that's my title. So it's really simple to add titles. You just grab the text tool here, or let me make this a little smaller. So I've dragged it there, so it's going to pop up here. And then I'll add something over here. Let's go into the Essential Graphics. I'll choose Browse. And I can go down here and add some fun stuff like, I'll just give you some examples. Here's something called a lower third, which is an identifier that lets you know who's in the video or what the video is about. So I'm going to grab this, drag it over here to the end. It's a little too long, so I'm going to pull this in here. We'll select it. And it's obviously too big, so I'm going to scale this down by going up here. And there it is. And now you can certainly change this, but let me just see how it looks. There it goes, Ready Player One. Now I can go in here and change the colors. I can go, I don't know this person's name, but I'm just gonna write Daryl, 2 L's, and then Dawkins. And if you know who Daryl Dawkins was, I was an amazing basketball player when I was young. Ready Player One, Daryl Dawkins. So you can change all that. I can go in here and change the colors. Maybe I want it this color blue. Maybe I want it a different color. Let's go back in here. Maybe want it a more red. So I can do all of that stuff. All of these are customizable and they're ready to go. Incidentally, if you see this red line here in your timeline, that means that the graphic needs to be rendered or the video needs to be rendered because it's not playing in real time. It's a little choppy. But so you can see it's kind of choppy there. So the way you would do that is you would press the enter button on your keyboard, and now it starts to render the files. It should only take a couple seconds because I have a pretty beefy Mac Studio. There we go. Now it's green, and you can see it play in real time. No problems right there. Okay. So that's how we add graphics. Also, incidentally, I'll let you know if you're having problems like your video's chugging a little bit on your computer, maybe it's not that strong of a computer, you can always go right here where it says full and click on that, and then you can go down and change to half resolution, quarter resolution. Depending on your video card, you can go down to a 16th resolution. So you have all kinds of options here to make it so that it performs better. So that's how we add graphics from the Essential Graphics panel and using the text tool as well. It's also how we do the color correcting in the Lumetri colors. So I hope you liked it today. If you did, please leave me a like below and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to bring out a lot more videos and I don't want you to miss one. I'm David Basulto. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in the next video.